Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scout Selections here for Wednesday, August 14th. Before we get into the play of the day, we'll quickly recap what happened yesterday. We picked up a very nice winner in the baseball game between the Tampa Bay Rays and the San Diego Padres, as we ended up taking the Rays on the money line at minus 119 at Bet Online. Game went exactly the way that I thought it would. I said that McKay has been struggling from command issues and that he'd look to get that under control. He walked 6 guys in about 4 innings of work. And I also said that if Tampa Bay would keep the game close, San Diego's bullpen would blow it. And that's exactly what happened. They were down 1 run going into I believe it was the 6th. And then the Padres bullpen came in. They were terrible. And the Rays ended up winning 7-5 to give us a nice back-to-back winners in the baseball card. Now, we're going to be sticking with baseball. However, just to let people know, there are a lot of day games on today, so this game will not be one of the late games. This game will be taking place at roughly 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and it will be between a matchup involving the Cincinnati Reds and the Washington Nationals, and we are going to be taking the first 5 under 4.5, which is available at minus 110 at 5 dimes. It's available pretty much market-wide, but 5 dimes is one of my favorite books, so I will be choosing that line personally. And the main reason why we like the under here involves the quality pitchers from both sides of the equation. You have Trevor Bauer, recently acquired Trevor Bauer from the Indians, who has looked really solid so far this season on the road, as he is 6-3 with a 3 ERA away from home. He's also been very solid with the Reds, as he is 1-0 with a sub-3.1 ERA. He's been great so far with Cincinnati, and his numbers against Washington batters have actually been very solid. As Washington, in 97 at-bats against them, they're active players. They currently have an on-base percentage of .284 and a batting average of .206. So I think that he's in a line to pitch well once again in this one. Meanwhile, for the Nationals, you have Strasburg on the hill, who's 14-5 this season with a 3.72 ERA. At home, he is 7-2 with a 3.47 ERA. And like Bauer, he has great numbers against the opposing offense, as the Reds batters and 112 at-bats against them have a batting average of 170 and an on-base percentage of .285. I simply think that both starting pitchers will get it going. Plus, you have the wind blowing in from left to right at about 6 miles an hour, which could potentially take away some home runs. Because every inch counts in today's MLB, from a home run off to a double off the wall. But either or, I think Bauer and Strasburg should pitch well. Yesterday was a relatively low-scoring game. I think that both offenses will be kept in check once again. I think that, in general, the main reason why we're taking the first 5 instead of the full game involves our lack of trust in the Nationals bullpen. I'm assuming you don't really need to know this. You've been following baseball season long. The Nationals have the worst bullpen in all of baseball, and they almost choked a win away in Game 1 of the series. I'm just going to stick to the starting pitchers. I'll stick to Bauer. I'll stick to Strasburg. And I think that both of them should give up 2 runs or less in the first 5 innings. So that should lead to a nice under at 4.5 at minus 110 at 5 dimes. Also worth mentioning, money has already come in on the under, as it originally opened up at roughly minus 120 in some spots towards the over, and then it ended up being bet down. So the fact that it's at minus 110 now makes me believe that it's on the right side. So I will be leaning to the under 4.5 in the first 5 at minus 110 at 5 dimes, and that will be the play of the day. Now, in terms of some of the other matchups today, just for some brief leans, lean to the Rays once again, or roughly plus 104 on the money line. Simply put, San Diego, I know they have a better starting pitcher in this matchup, as Quantrill's have been very solid lately. However, if I asked you who the most threatening player was on the entire Padres roster, you wouldn't even tell me Machado, you wouldn't even tell me Hosmer, you'd probably tell me Fernando Tatis, based on how he's performed this season. However, Tatis injured his back yesterday, if you were watching the Rays game, and he is not in the lineup today. Padres lineup scored 4 runs in the first inning, scored 1 run in the other 8 innings, and I don't trust this team's offense whatsoever. The Rays, even though they don't have the most prolific offense, they don't have the most, name brand players. At the same point, this team's great. They play the baseball the right way. I know it's a cliche, but they find ways to win games. And Tampa Bay, based on how San Diego's playing, I expect Tampa Bay to get the sweep today, especially with Tatis out of the lineup for the Padres. So I will lean to the Rays on the money line at plus 104. That would have been the play of the day, but I am a little bit concerned with how Quantrill has been pitching lately, and I think that he should pitch well once again. But I expect San Diego's bullpen to blow it again. So based on that, I think there is value on the Rays as an underdog price at this number. Moving on for the rest of the card, don't really have much, not really a big fan of the card. I guess I'd have to lean to the over in the Rockies and Diamondbacks game, which is at 13. Freeland has been a little bit better lately, but still not great. And Robbie Ray has been okay, but he has struggled in his career in Coors Field. I think that you should see a decent amount of runs. Yesterday, I believe the game was 9-3. I think you should see both starting pitchers struggle early on and expect that to carry over. Lean to the over 13 in that one, especially with the Rockies bullpen. And lastly, I will lean to the under 9 between the Cubs and the Phillies with Hamels versus Nola on the mound. I know Hamels has struggled a little bit lately. I still love him as a pitcher, and he is going up against one of his former teams in a ballpark he is all too familiar with. So I will lean. I think he'll pitch well. Nola has been pitching well lately, and the Cubs are one of the worst road teams in the league. So I'll lean to the under there. I think you should see a game somewhere in the realm of 4-3. Give or take, maybe 5-3, somewhere around there. So I will lean to the under in that one. Before we conclude today's video, though, quick reminder of our sponsor, PointsBet, all on sportsbook in New Jersey. A couple of great deals for you. Up to 2 risk-free bets up to $1,000. So if you end up betting on any sports and you lose, you simply get your money back, which is a great promotion I wish other books would use. Other than that, though, play of the day once again is on the Nationals and Reds under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, which is available at -110 at 5 dimes. And other than that, that's going to do over this installment of Scott Selections here for Wednesday, August 14th. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.